Hey Nukenites, it's Nuke. I went a little crazy and decided to put up some StarCraft 2 footage on my channel. Yes, this is me in a replay between Tyler, who is Nony, the pro gamer from America, up here, and versus David Kim, one of the lead designers of StarCraft 2. He is playing as the disgusting, throbbing Zerg player at the 7 o'clock position. In the words of Overlord, okay, enough of that. But yes, I wanted to do a little bit of a visual critique of this game, just because I've been one of the more vocal critics among the commentators of StarCraft 2, just because, I played a lot of games, and just because you put a franchise's name on a sequel doesn't mean it's going to be good. And it doesn't mean that all of the same people, or any of the same people, worked on it. Although, obviously, there are some original Brood War guys working on this. But yeah, I want to give a little bit of a visual critique. So without further ado, play. Yes, Nony is up here playing as his main race. By the way, I took about 3 sleeping pills, so that pretty much motivated me to do this. I have to get up early in the morning, so I see rainbows right now. Whee! Okay, down at the 7 o'clock, let's see what David Kim is up to. And let's give a little bit of a critique about this game. As you can see, I can zoom in very close. I don't have the game running on ultra high settings just because that would make my computer run very slowly. As you can see, David Kim's scouting in the wrong direction with that Overlord. And I especially like the new design of the Overlord because you got the cool little glowing sacks of whatever on the side of him. Zerg especially looks very, very good in StarCraft 2. Very impressive. And even little details like this. I mean, you can see all the particle effects that went into a warping pylon like this. And that's cool to an extent, but the original StarCraft and Brood War, they were very simplistic because they had to work with plasticky, pre-rendered 3D models, and those are very abstract, and it leaves a lot to your imagination, which is part of the reason I think Brood War caught on so much, especially with female gamers, is because you can use your imagination. You can project whatever you want onto the original StarCraft sprites. Probes in the original StarCraft are very cute. But the new probes, I mean, you can see every little detail of them as they follow this probe, and they're not quite as adorable because of that, I think. By the way, the gateway coming up for Nony, and I really like the new warping in animation. There's so much animation in this game now. It might be a bit overkill, because look at the top of this Nexus. Is that the thing that's on the top of the Sims head? I'm not sure, but... Yes, as you can see, there is a drone coming in here for David Kim. Let's check on David Kim. Yes, I like this new animation and the new sprite, sort of. The new 3D model for the morphing in buildings. It looks very, very nice. You can see the probe trying to fight back against the drones. Get out of there, probe! And yes, everything, all the regular stuff like the minerals and the gas going up there, those should be nicely animated. I mean, even the minerals are animated, if you can tell down here. You got little particle effects moving up them. That might be a bit much. I mean, the more simple you can make it, the easier your computer's going to handle it, and that'll allow Blizzard to bring in more people if they keep the animations nice and simple. They don't need to have everything animated. Here's Nony up there. He finally got rid of that Zergling. The death animations are kind of overkill too in StarCraft 2, I think, because there's a lot of them, and they are very, very animated, and sometimes you can't even tell a player is dead until a couple of seconds into their animation. Okay, as you can see, a lot of nice atmospheric things too. You got the birds flying around. I mean, everything is moving in this game. Down here, look at the flowers. The flowers are swaying back and forth. This is what I was talking about with a little bit too much animation. And look at the top of the Nexus here. I mean, that is kind of ridiculous. How many particle effects are going on here? You don't really need that. It's a bit distracting, I think, for both the audience and the person playing. Oh, warping in cybernetics core. And the cybernetics core actually has some nice animations. I especially like the animations on the cybernetics core. And finally, some Protoss buildings that didn't have animations before, like the gateway, they now have animations for when units are coming out of it, which I think is very important. I think all production buildings should have some kind of animation when you are pumping a unit out of it. As you can tell on the replay, I can check what's coming out of that. I can see all the rally points. Now if I select a unit like this, you can see where that unit is moving. You can see the rally points where the player is clicking for that. Say if I select these Zerglings, you can see that David Kim, he's clicking up here just to try to make sure he can run by. But no, he's losing. You can see his mad, erratic clicking. You can actually see Nony's clicking at the same time, which is the red dots. Very nice touch. I really like that because it makes replays all the more important, because now you can do whatever. You can see David's actually set some waypoints here with shift, I think. He's just shifting all over the place so he doesn't have to pay attention to this Zergling at all times. Players did that in the original Brood War too. But now you can see exactly where they're going. There's another gateway warping in for Nony. And look at these Zealots running proudly. They look kind of like the Predator from the movie Predator, which I think Blizzard stole that from for Brood War 2. Overlord. And you can see some waypoint clicking, but I'm not exactly sure what that was from. There's probably a way to turn off the waypoints so you don't have to see the waypoints everywhere. It gets a little bit distracting, but I don't know what that is yet. I've only watched a couple of replays, so I don't know what anything does. Although I did notice that if you select a player's base like this, and you press the numbers, you can see what the hotkeys are. So Nony has both of his gateways hotkeyed to 2, nothing on 3, and the 5, he has his Zealots running around. Let's see what David's hotkeys are. 1, he's got his Zerglings. 2, he has his Roaches attacking these Zealots, trying to get some nice micro to kill those Zealots, since those are melee units and the Roaches are firing. Again, I have to state that I don't know much about StarCraft 2. I haven't followed it very intensely. I know a little bit. I watched the battle reports, but that's pretty much it. I don't keep track of it too much because I wasn't that excited about the game until a couple of weeks ago, really. There's the little Zelnaga watchtowers that David has taken control of with these Zerglings. Blood everywhere for the vultures to sweep down and get. Okay. Bunch of Zealots coming up. Looks like Nony is just committing to Zealots in this game. I do like the new Protoss Twilight Council. What the heck? I don't know what that does. But yes, I like the new Protoss building designs. Especially for the robotics facility and the support bay. They look very similar to the old buildings, as does the cybernetics core. Gateway, maybe not so much. I mean, it's a little bit like the original Gateway, but it's much more flashy. And look at those animations. They're so animated. They're looking around. Although it's not quite as charming as the original StarCraft's animations, I think, because those animations were kind of random. I mean, if you had a bunch of Hydras sitting right here, one Hydra would stay, and then it would twitch, it would look somewhere else, then another one would twitch, and they'd all twitch in random intervals, so it was very entertaining to watch. But with these guys, they don't do a whole lot. So yes, overall, I think the game looks good. I think they need to work a bit on the animations and make them a bit more simple, so you don't have too many distractions on the screen. That's a big problem with RTS games. If you have too much going on, especially with a competitive game like StarCraft, if you want to have a competitive scene where people are actually viewing this, you have to let the people know what they're seeing. If there's a bunch of particle effects blocking everything on screen, the people are not going to really like that. The observers are kind of just going to stand around saying, "What the F is going on?" So yeah, that's all I have to say about the game for now. Might analyze a few more replays, look at a few more aspects of the game, as well as more replay options that I haven't fliggled around with yet. So yep, this has been Nuke. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon for OSL matches.